Today is March the 11th, 2023, and today we are here with Robin Leeah, who's running for the AISD Board of Trustees. Robin, welcome.
Thank you.
Let's tell the voters why you're running to be a trustee for the Emerald Independent School District.
Okay. Probably, honestly, about 2 years ago, whenever we were in the midst of COVID and the kids were wearing masks, it really kind of got my attention because I had both of my girls were in school, had a 7th grader and a senior in high school. And I remember the first day of school when my 7th grader went back to school. She came out of school crying. And I asked her, what was wrong, what happened, and she just absolutely hated the mask. And so I really, there was a movement going to get rid of the mask because it was really harming the kids. And I kind of got on that train with everybody, and I just wanted it to be a choice. I just wanted it to be, if my kid doesn't want to wear a mask, don't make them wear a mask. So that kind of started my involvement. Then I started going to school board meetings and during that time and then afterwards, and just started noticing that we did not have a representation of mothers up there. We had a lot of retired business people and businessmen on there and businesswomen, and I just felt like we didn't have a representation of moms because moms live it every day and we're in it every day with our kids. And we have a unique perspective that I feel like we can bring to the board. And so I started noticing that, and then I kind of started prepping for it and just looking at what does it look like to run for a school board? What do you do on a school board? And so it's really been a 2-year process. And then I really felt like this is what I was supposed to do. I heard an interview with Lauren Bopert from Colorado, and they asked her, you've got like 3 boys. Why are you doing this? And she said, it's not necessary until it's necessary. And that just really resonated with me. And I thought, okay, it's necessary that I do this. I'm at a point now, my oldest is in college. She's a sophomore at Texas Tech. And then I have a freshman at Tascosa. And so I thought, I have somewhat of the time. I'm not as busy with 2 kids in the house. And so I decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Very good. So let's explain to the voters what the role of the school board is.
Okay. The main role of the school board is to oversee the superintendent, hire and fire the superintendent, and then oversee him. Another role of the school board is to communicate with the community. That's how you build trust with the community, is communication and transparency. Another role is to set the tax rate, the budget, all of that. So those are the main things that the school board does. I know I'm probably leaving out a lot of things, but a lot of people misunderstand what the school board does. I actually have a video on my website that explains the 5 main goals of the school board. But the most important thing is we really oversee the superintendent.
So what is your website so that people know where to see that video?
It's Leeah, Leeah 4 AISD.com. I have several videos on there, but one of them is the role of the school board so that people can look at that. And then the other one is voting. We have this voting is different, and it explains how the voting is done.
Cumulative voting.
Yes.
So you can choose however many votes as there are places open.
Right.
So this election, there's 3 places open.
Yes.
So you get 3 votes.
Yes.
And you can vote for 1 or 2 or 3 different people.
Right. That's right.
So it's a little different. And then the person that gets the most votes, the top 3 vote getters, are on the school board.
That's right. That's right. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know that they have 3 votes. They also don't know that you can give them all to the same person.
Mm-hmm.
They think you have to divide them up, but you don't. You can give them all to the same person.
Yeah. Well, that's the system we have. I don't know that I agree with it, but it works. So
Yeah.
they didn't ask me.
Right.
So what do you think are some of the main issues facing the school board right now?
Well, I mean, I know that a lot of people are very, again, this is a misunderstanding. A lot of people are upset about curriculum right now. And from my research that I have found, and believe me, I have gone over and over and made many phone calls. When I call and ask, they're like, yes. The board has nothing to do with the selection of the curriculum. And so I know, and I was even confused by that because in one of their policies, it's the EF local policy, it says that the board has the ultimate say over the curriculum. So when you think of the word curriculum, I was a former teacher. When I think of curriculum, I think of the book that I used to teach chemistry, the workbook that I used, the worksheets that I used. But according to the Texas Association of School Boards and TEA, curriculum refers to the TEKS and the courses they offer. So I have said to them, y'all really need to change this because you are misleading people about curriculum. I understand that y'all understand the definition of curriculum, but the average mom, when I read that, I'm like, okay, well, y'all have the ultimate say, and that is not true. So I think that's one of the biggest things, and it's a misconception. And a lot of people think that the school board can do something about the curriculum, and they cannot. The only time the board has anything to do with the curriculum is when we have to purchase curriculum, and the cost is over $100,000. And so we don't have a say over it unless we're purchasing it. And then you can approve it by the purchase of it, but you're not really approving it.
So do all the school boards have to be a member of TASB?
I'm not sure about that. I really don't know. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of information out there about us not being a part of it. I don't think you do. I'm pretty sure that as a school board, you can decide not to be a part of that.
Well, just get out of TASB and do your own thing.
This is true.
There's always ways to solve problems.
Yes.
But you have to solve the cause of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I think state interference and some of these organizations that people think they have to belong to are the cause.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they put in these things and make people think that they can't do things.
Right.
And that's the purpose of them, I think.
Right.
So you just have to think outside the box and figure out how to get around them.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate them. Do without them. I suspect the students of Amarillo would get just as good education if we weren't part of TASB.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too.
Because at the end of the day, it's about the students.
Right. Right.
That's why we're here.
Exactly. It's about the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think possibly another thing is communication. I know that's one thing that I'm passionate about is communication. I feel like maybe the board, and I understand there are some things they cannot discuss, but, I think sometimes to get ahead of things or to explain things is important. Again, one of the roles of the school board is to communicate with the community. That's the parents, the teachers, the students, and let them know, what's going on. And I know during COVID, they tried really hard. I know Doug Loomis got up on videos and communicated stuff, but sometimes I feel like it's you have to really go after the information. I think it would really be helpful to just communicate. What you can communicate, say it. Mm-hmm. I know that would be what I would love to do if I was on the board, is be that communication.
Well, and I think that the people, the voters, the parents, if they understand why
Mm-hmm.
something's happening,
Mm-hmm.
that helps them because then they can help come up with solutions.
Yes.
But if they don't know why
Right.
something's happening, it doesn't have the same, doesn't register the same.
Right. Yes.
Because I always know if I can explain if I tell somebody why I'm doing something, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just tell them to do something with no explanation as to why,
Yeah.
then they resent it.
Right. And, a lot of people go on misinformation. They don't have the full story. And I know that's been me even in this process of running. A lot of information I didn't have correct. So I went searching for it. I went looking for it. I went asking for it, and I got it, and I understood better. And I just think if they would communicate better, I don't know that they would have as many disgruntled parents. That's what I feel like, because I've understood a lot. I'm like, oh, that's what that means. Oh, you mean that? Oh, this is what this means. So it's been a very good learning process for me. I feel like I've learned a lot just from asking and digging, but I don't know that parents have to ask and dig so hard. Be forthright with it.
Yeah, then that breeds suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
are they covering up? What's being
Right.
hidden, and why is it not being put
Talked
out
about.
there in a simple, straightforward manner?
Right. Yes, I agree.
So that sounds like some one of your main objectives.
It is communication and transparency.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one of my main points.
And generally, if you can shed light on things and people can see it, problem's gone.
Yes, I agree.
So most things are pretty easily solved.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
They are.
So why should they vote for you 3 times and all of your opponents not at all?
Well, I think I have a unique perspective. I've been a teacher, so I've been in that role. I was a high school chemistry teacher. I taught in a private school. So not only, in a private school, they typically have one science teacher. So not only did I teach chemistry, but I taught biology, IPC, chemistry 2, and health. So I taught many things, but I'm certified in high school chemistry. I was a teacher. I'm actually a mother who has a child in the classroom right now. I'm living it every day. So I can relate to parents on that level. When they're frustrated with the use of Chromebooks, I am too. When they're frustrated with dress code, me too. I get it. I understand it. I see it. I'm living it every day. So I think that's what makes me different. And those are the main things. I'm a former teacher and I'm a mother and I'm living it every day. It wasn't 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 25 years ago that I had kids in school. Like I said, I just had one graduate 2 years ago from Tascosa, and I've got one right now, and she still has 3 more years left.
Maybe it should be a prerequisite to be on the school board. You have to have a child in the system.
I kind of feel like that's a good idea. I really do, because no disrespect or anything, but some of them on there do not understand what we're dealing with every day at school, social media, just the politics, everything. It's a lot. And just the mental anguish that the kids go through on a daily basis. They don't understand it. They've been out of school some 30, 40 years. And so it's hard for them to even fathom what these kids are going through.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a middle school or high school kid today with all the goings on
Mm-hmm.
and just the ability to communicate.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think all this social media really was designed to divide us.
I agree.
To harm us, not to help us.
No, it really, if you think about it, it hasn't really brought us together. If anything, it's caused more division.
Yeah, and I think that's done by design.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it would be very difficult. You just have to not participate.
Mm-hmm. Well, and my daughters, they're not allowed to have social media. All through middle school and high school, my oldest did not have it when she went off to college. I said, "You're 18 now. If you choose to have it, you can have it." And she got it, and then now she's off of it. She got rid of all of it because it was causing her so much stress. She hated it. And then my youngest, she's not allowed to have it. I have a TikTok account, and I allow her to get on that TikTok account, on my account, but she's not allowed to post anything. And I see everything, that she's looking at. So I think, especially for girls, social media is so destructive. They are already at age 15, 13, 14, 15, 16, whatever. They already have so much insecurities, judgments. Let's not pile on more with social media. So I've been very protective of that with my girls because I know it is a harsh world out there. And, they're not seeing what they're missing out on. They're not seeing that so-and-so is having a party and I wasn't invited. That does a lot to someone. So my husband and I, we very much were against our girls having social media. And like I said, my oldest daughter says, you let Natalie do whatever she wants. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you were a test track. And so now we're seeing what we did and what we didn't do. But like I said, it's my account that she can get on. And
we learn from our mistakes.
We do. We do.
Yeah. I just don't understand the concept myself. I do understand the concept. I know why they did it, because they know it would be addictive to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't see who has the time for it.
Yeah. Oh, well, it takes up an enormous amount of time.
And I don't think anybody would be interested in what I'm doing ever. I might find it interesting, but I don't think anybody else, they could care less. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think I have a Facebook, but the only thing I've ever put on there is like our first calf born of the year or something. That's like the most exciting thing, I think. And that's just to see if I can figure out how to do it.
Yes.
So we could live quite well without it. We don't need it.
No, think about how long we didn't have it.
Right.
Think about how long we didn't have cell phones. That's the crazy thing. My daughter's in college now, and I can FaceTime her, and I can see her, lay eyes on her. Mm-hmm. She can text me. She can call me. And I think about when I was in college, my parents didn't have any of that. And you had to call long distance and make sure you had the right phone plan and everything, so it didn't cost a lot of money. And I asked my parents, how did y'all not worry every day? And they said, well, we would hear from you every once in a while, and we just prayed God's protection over you. And, and I just thought, if I don't hear from Madeline for one day, I'm like, are you okay? Everything okay? So in some ways it's good like that. But in other ways, and I'm thankful that she's figuring out on her own how it's not good for her. So,
yeah, anything that can be used for good can be abused and used for evil.
Yes.
So you just have to be careful. It's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to use it responsibly.
Yes.
So that comes back to the parents.
Yes.
So, it's all, at the end of the day, it's about the parents need to be informed so they can take responsibility for their child.
Yes. And I'm all about that. My platform is partnering with parents. I really want to empower parents to take their rightful role back into their child's life. You are the parent. You can say no. You can set limits. You can set bedtimes. I think we have a lot of parents that are afraid of their kids to say, no, you can't do that. Just like some people say to me, how did you tell your girls no, they couldn't have social media? I just told them, no, you're not going to have social media. In fact, my husband and I did a cell phone contract with our girls. And if they breached that contract, they got their phone taken away. So, parents are still parents. And I feel like a lot of things that are going on in the classroom, too, is from a lack of parent involvement and parents really paying attention and being engaged. And I really want parents to be engaged again with their kids. And so, because the only way I think we're going to turn this ship around is starting in the home and what's going on in the home. Because, these kids then come to school and, I substitute taught last year. That was another thing I did to prep for this. I wanted to see, I was hearing lots of things about what was going on in the classroom. So I thought, well, I'll just go into the classroom. So I did all the training and everything to substitute teach. And what I saw was behavior was out of control. And so these teachers are not only trying to teach, they're trying to be the parents too. And it was a mess. It was a mess. So, parents do have a responsibility. The school cannot do everything. The teachers cannot do everything.
Well, that's a problem when we quit being responsible and start being reliant on government.
Yes.
Or government institutions, which schools are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so important for people to be involved and to vote at their local,
yes,
county, city, school board. Probably the most important election is our school board, because that has can have a profound effect in the future of our community.
Yes.
Because you're guiding the school, and which is going to be educating our future labor and leaders.
Yes. Yes.
So I think people don't understand how important that position is.
Right. I agree. I don't think I understood how important it was until I really started to look at it. And like I said, during the COVID thing, that really woke me up, honestly, And for, my girls were in private school for a while before we chose public school. And, it definitely woke me up with COVID and everything because I saw what effect it had on my girls. It was hard.
Well, I think that has shed the light across the country on a lot of things that were going on that parents were unaware of. And I think they're wanting they awakened, and now they're going to take their schools back.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If we take our schools back, we can take our cities and our counties back.
I agree. I completely agree. And train up the children in the way they should go. And parents, get back involved. Quit being distracted. You brought these kids into the world. Let's pour into them. Because parents are the single most important influence in a child's life.
Yeah, we may be educating the wrong group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But all we can do is the best we can do, right?
Yes, that's right.
So your website again is?
Leeah, Leeah 4 AISD.com.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the voters before you wrap up?
No, I just, choose a mom. We need mama bears on there. We need mama bears that are going to fight for the kids.
Do your research, investigate the candidates,
yes,
and choose the one that you think will best represent your interest at the school board.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely do your research.
All right, Robin. Well, I appreciate you coming by today.
Thank you.
Good luck out there. And I'm sure I'll see you at some numerous and sundry forums between now and May the 6th.
Yes, I'm sure I will. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming by.
Mm-hmm.